There is a whole lot of shaking going on in Oklahoma. The Sooner State saw 850 earthquakes of magnitude 3 or greater this year. The trend is clear. Earthquakes are on the rise in Oklahoma.
Location, location, location. A Lakeland idyll, but Glenridding by Ullswater, one of the worst places to have been on Saturday, taking the full force of Storm Desmond. Storm Desmond has now claimed a second victim. Cumbria police confirming that the body of an elderly man reported missing in the River Kent near Kendal has now been recovered.
Overnight, heavy rains pounded the Pacific Northwest. In Kalama, Washington, severe flooding left much of the city underwater. A landslide in Portland pushed trees and mud towards cars and forced the closure of Highway 30. The relentless rainfall sent rivers and creeks surging above flood levels. It opened up this massive sinkhole in Gresham, and wind gusts as strong as 40 miles per hour toppled trees. Even in a part of the country that's used to seeing rain, the amount of wet weather drenching Portland this week has set records, and it's likely to get worse in the coming days.
Residents in the Philippines struggle with the aftermath of yet another typhoon that's killed at least 41 people. The strong winds and downpour have left a trail of destruction in the center of the country, and thousands of families expect to spend the holidays homeless and without electricity. More than 700,000 people have been displaced.
The storm over the Bering Sea, one of the strongest non-tropical cyclones on record. Yeah, we're talking about that monster storm that battered Alaska's Aleutian Islands. We're talking about estimated atmospheric pressures among the lowest on record for the Northern Pacific.
Last week, we showed you this infrared time-lapse image of the natural gas leak in Porter Ranch, California. With this, we can see what people there have been smelling and getting sick from for nearly 2 months now. Rolling clouds of methane gas. This thing has been leaking for weeks now.
From its brightness, it is estimated that this piece of an asteroid weighed at least 150 pounds and was over 16 inches in diameter. It moved almost due south at a speed of 29,000 miles per hour.
Last night, several regions in northern Spain were lit up as over 100 wildfires burned, creating a glowing cloud of smoke. Have aided dozens with evacuating the region.
The hillside gave way next to a road nearly 200 miles east of Lima. Heavy rain sending a landslide of mud into the valley below. Officials say at least 2 people were killed. Rescue workers say they found one body and were trying to recover the other one.
The weather on I-49 along the Texas-Arkansas border turned the roadways deadly. 3 killed, 7 injured in a blinding fog pileup.
It sounded like an explosion.
The wild weather system creating havoc is also poised to shatter records. Some spots 40 degrees above average. 2,800 temperature records already broken in December.
Oh my God.
Across the country, a different extreme fueled in part by El Nino. The jet stream funneling strong Southern California winds, powerful enough to rip off roofs and topple trucks. In the Sierras, this winter whiteout beautiful, but dangerous. Major roads shut down. others brought to a crawl. Oregon and Washington state have been hammered continuously, winds knocking down power lines and trees. A season of extremes from coast to coast.
In some areas, water levels are around 7.5 meters, the second highest in history.
On Sunday evening, Missouri Governor Jay Nixon declared a state of emergency as over the weekend, a record-breaking 3 days of rain caused St. Louis's levees to break and creeks to overflow, flooding area homes. And as the rain continued into the week, authorities on Monday said they expect local rivers to surpass record levels set during 1993's historic flood. Nearly a foot of rain is dumped over the state, making December 2015 the wettest month ever recorded in Missouri.
This morning, a record-breaking flood drowning the Midwest, swallowing up neighborhoods, homes uprooted, some floating downstream, bridges submerged, littered with debris. rising rivers making at least 200 roads impassable. Interstate 44 and Route 141 shut down Tuesday. These traffic lights, the only sign of a once busy roadway below. Overnight, a third major highway, Interstate 55. Parts of it closed, backing traffic up for miles. In High Ridge, Missouri, a water plant engulfed, closing down Tuesday and cutting off water to 20,000 residents. And Missouri, not the only flooded state. Parts of North Carolina, Florida, and Georgia also hit with winter flooding.
Tadcaster Bridge in North Yorkshire collapsed due to the rising water levels, making it unstable. Heavy rain and gales have been battering parts of the UK as Storm Frank causes widespread disruption, including power cuts, flooding, and vast amounts of property damage.
Big ball of ice just blew through the roof.
The two men believe the ice ball must have weighed at least 25 pounds before it flew through their roof and shattered into pieces.
This is all that remains of Lake Popo. Over the past 2 months, it's completely dried up. At an altitude of nearly 3,700 meters, the saltwater lake was once Bolivia's second largest body of water after Lake Titicaca.
Tonight, the Midwest is in a blinding weather bullseye. In Iowa, visibility is near zero. Drivers in Des Moines are sliding off icy slick pavement on Interstate 80. Those managing to stay on the road and the plows are fighting heavy snow. Sleet and snow snarling traffic from Kalamazoo to Kansas. Wichita looks like an icy junkyard. In Oklahoma, the governor has declared a state of emergency for all 77 counties. There's flooding in the east and farther west. An ice storm is causing big rigs to slide, wedging cars on the highway. Nearly 200,000 homes are without electricity. In Amarillo, Texas, along Interstate 40, snowdrifts buried big rigs, and in New Mexico, entire houses. Near Clovis, a 12-foot snowdrift.
Montreal saw a record snowfall for December 29th on Tuesday after 39.2 centimeters of snow blanketed the city and caused delays at the airport and left streets a mess for motorists and pedestrians.